On this show, we often share examples of how the abortion industry is closely tied with Hollywood. Planned Parenthood's former president literally appeared on the Oscars stage this year, for example. But we rarely hear from those in the entertainment industry speaking up in defense of life. Our next guest is an exception. Kirk Cameron first came to fame in the 1980s for his starring role on the TV sitcom Growing Pains. The television and film actor had a conversion to Christianity after holding atheist views in his younger years. The evangelical Christian now focuses on creating TV and film projects centered on faith and living out the gospel message. He is married with 6 children, 4 of whom are adopted. Kirk Cameron joins us now in an exclusive interview from Calabasas, California. Kirk, thanks for being with us.
My pleasure. Great to talk to you.
You've been public that you have not always been pro-life. You've written it was a gradual process. Tell us about that process.
I think as a father of 6 kids and 4 of my kids being adopted has certainly played into the growing love that I have for everything that has to do with the life of children. So it turns out that my wife is an adopted child herself, so is her brother. And when we started our family, we decided that we wanted to adopt a child. And so we adopted our first son, and then 2 little girls, and then our second son, and then had 2 natural-born children. And I think about the fact that I have so much of a treasure in my family today, and that none of them would exist if it weren't for people who loved life and encouraged mothers with unexpected pregnancies to give birth to their children. My whole family was just one appointment away from not existing. And so as a husband and as a father, I've grown in my love for life and my appreciation for those who come up alongside moms and tell them, you can do this.
That really puts it into perspective. Kirk, why do you think it is, with all of the information that we have on abortion and the truth about life, why do you think there are still so many people who don't consider themselves pro-life? What's the disconnect there?
I think that really does say a lot. I think at the end of the day, we're all pro-life. It's just that it's usually our life that we want to design to be the best that we perceive it could be. So sometimes that includes a pregnancy, and other times it might not include a pregnancy. But at the end of the day, my value system says that all life is precious, and I think that at the end of the day, when I talk with people who have been who have received an abortion, people who are considering abortions, people who have chosen to give their children life, I think at the end of the day, we all know that life is precious, that it's a gift from God.
You mentioned your value system. Here we are, we're speaking on the Global Catholic Network. Kirk, you're not Catholic, but you are a practicing Christian, very public about that. Can you speak more about how your Christian faith informs the way you view life and the sanctity of life?
Sure. Well, as a Christian, I know that life is at the very center of my faith. And this is a faith that has been passed down for thousands of years to me by others who also value life. And at the end of the day, that's what Jesus said. He said that I am the way, I'm the truth, and I am the life. He is the resurrection and the life. He brings dead things back to life. And he does that in my heart. He does that in your heart if we turn to him in faith. So how does my faith affect my views on being pro-life? Well, it affects it in a profound way, because to be pro-life is to be pro-God. God is life. He's the source of life. He's the center of my life and my kids' lives. And so I think we should be doing everything that we can to protect it and to enhance it so that we can help everyone come to a place of enjoying abundant life.
You've transformed your career, Kirk, into now making films for the family. Can you speak about why that is important to you and the role the family in particular plays in the pro-life movement and into building a culture of life?
So we hear the terms pro this, pro that, or anti this or anti that, and when I hear pro-life, I think, boy, that really ought to encompass everything from the womb to the tomb, right? From the cradle to the grave. if I'm pro-life, that means I'm pro-baby, I'm also pro-mom, I'm pro-dad, I'm pro-lives, I'm pro-family, I'm pro-life, because life is better than death. And so I've tried to focus my career and even my time off the screen on things that really promote life in the arenas of faith and family, and also the kinds of values that produce freedom in our country. And I think they all go really nicely together. They fit like a hand in glove, and they're all connected: faith, family, and the liberties and freedoms that we enjoy in this country, to be able to pursue both of those things.
You're speaking to us from Calabasas, California. How are you treated by others in the film industry for your pro-life views and pro-family views? Are you respected?
I try not to pay too much attention to whether or not people like me. My view is, I have a couple of people that I deeply respect. My wife is one of them. I have a couple of really close friends, and then of course God. And if I can live my life in a way that is really for an audience of one person, and look for the applause of heaven, and have the respect of my wife and a couple of people that I know are full of wisdom and want the best for me and for my family, then I'm going to take my cues there.
And for our viewers who don't know, your sister is actress Kirk Cameron. She's also been very public about her pro-life views. Is this something you two talk about? And do you know how she's been treated in Hollywood for her stance?
So my little sister, I have three sisters, and Candace is our littlest of the sisters. And she's had such variety in her career, and she's been hosting The View, and she's the Hallmark movie queen now, and she has so many different roles that she's been playing as a mom, as a wife, and I think Candace, from what I know, is well respected in a lot of circles. And like I said earlier, there's always going to be people that like you, always going to be people that don't like you. And Candace and I like to talk about things that we share in common, and we share so many of the same values. So I'm proud of her, love her commitment to the things that count, pro-life being one of them, and I'm sure you can expect to see more great things from her. She's a good girl.
Coming from the mouth of a big brother, that's good to hear. Kirk Cameron, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. Nice to talk with you. Have a great day.